Hey everybody, welcome to live Dysphagiaduo. I can't call it cooking with Kat and Steph tonight because we're not cooking, we're doing thickened liquids. So bear with us a minute as we tag everyone that we need to tag in this video. So tonight we are going to get started with the IDDSI framework with the drink side here, okay? So we're going to go over each of these levels. The drink side here.
Sorry, okay? I've used my computer's notes.
Yes, okay. Got it. Okay. So I'm going to start with thin while you're typing names to tag.
Yeah, I'm going to take this over here for a second.
You do. Got it.
Do.
Hold on.
I'm going to watch that.
Hold on. It's going to be great.
It's good.
Laugh with us or at us. Either way, it's fine. We have a cord in the way. Thank you. Okay. So, IDDSI framework.
Let me make sure it's
We're going to start with thin liquids. So,
hold on.
Holding.
Brittany saw it. Brittany saw it.
I love you, Brittany.
Brittany's the only one.
With a random question, FYI.
Okay.
Someone will see it when we post the video. I hope they laugh with us. Okay.
Yes. Okay. I'm going to tag people.
Steph's going to tag people. We love you too, Brittany.
Oh.
Okay. So, what we're going to do to test our liquids is using, actually, I guess I should wait until she tags people because I want them to be able to see it. They'll see it when we come through. Anyway, so the funnel test. We use a syringe. You can get a 10 milliliter syringe just about anywhere. When we first were doing this, before we got these fancy little IDDSI funnels, we went to our local Walgreens down the street, walked in, checked all the aisles, couldn't find an appropriate 10 milliliter syringe, walked up to the pharmacist and I said, hey, this is what we're doing. Can I buy a syringe from you, a 10 milliliter syringe? And she goes, you can just have one. And she handed one to us, which was really cool. So if you're in a crunch, go to your local pharmacy and ask if they have one because you need to test your liquids for the correct thickness. See what they say. So the IDDSI flow test is written right here. There are also videos on YouTube from IDDSI on how to do this test properly, but I'm going to show you here real quick. So I have a timer. Okay, we need 10 seconds. So I'm going to take my finger and cover the bottom. I'm going to pour right up to the top line. The last time we did talk about thickened liquids, I spilled all over the counter and made a huge mess. So we're going to see if we can do a little bit better. So I got a little bit more than 10 milliliters in there. I went all the way up to the top. We're supposed to stop the line. So I'm going to push start on here and I'm going to remove my finger and then I'm going to cover it again at 10 seconds. Okay, ready, set, go. There it goes. So for thin liquids, 9, 10. So for thin liquids, there's nothing left. I don't have to put my finger back on there because all of the water is gone, okay? So the nice thing about these funnels is that they correlate to the level of the liquids. They're labeled here, 1, 2, 3, and then 4 is not listed because with 4, you put stuff in the funnel and nothing comes out because it's so thick. So if you're not sure whether it's a 3 or a 4, you can put it in here. If nothing comes out, it's a 4. It's technically pureed or extremely thick like pudding. So we can show this. Are we all tagged?
Well, no. So,
tell me more.
So because we are in Dysphagiaduo and these people are group people, I can't tag them.
Right.
If they're not.
Oh, and there's 2 Janet Carters here too. Should we take them both?
Maybe.
We're gonna try it. If you're the wrong Janet Carter, I'm sorry. Who's the other
But when we repost it into the group, which next week it won't be or 2 weeks from now, it won't be a problem because we'll be in the group.
Right. This will be easier here in a couple weeks. So I'm tagging these people that requested initial tags on here.
To be tagged.
So those of you that wanted the replay will tag you afterwards. So thin liquids, nothing comes out of the funnel. We're really hoping to see Karen because she wanted us to make coffee. So as soon as she hops on, we'll make coffee. All right. So next, yes. Don't hold those coughs in, everybody. Speech therapist says don't hold those coughs in.
Never.
Okay.
Hold your cough in.
So I have here V8 because this is an all natural, not thickened liquid. Okay. So we are going to test whether or not this is thin or slightly thick.
What is your guess?
I believe that it's slightly thick.
Okay.
Granted, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, and I'm
We've all
not.
been wrong
I'm not
before.
afraid to admit it. Let's see if I can. Okay. So once again, I got just a smidgen too much. Okay.
Ready?
So.
Oh,
Okay. Yep. Ready, set,
go.
Oh yeah, that's moving real fast, isn't it? I mean, it slowed down right at the end there. There's a tiny bit left. But technically, hello, Kara. Nice to see you.
Hi, Kara. So
our V8 is considered thin.
So let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
So V8 has more texture to it.
Mm-hmm.
It has more weight to it because there's more than just water.
Right.
It's more about the weight of it, and sometimes it's not about the thinness at all. It's about the weight
And the texture of it.
and the texture.
How much surface area? It's not
Right.
surface area. Density
Density is a better word.
the science term.
Right.
Yes.
So that's why you have to be very careful about saying I'm a level 2.
Right.
Because you may be able to do level 1 tomato juice or V8 juice.
Right.
Because the density of it makes up.
So, and if you did notice, there was a little bit left in here at the end of that 10 seconds.
Because of the texture.
Because of the texture, yes. So it
And
moves slower. So, anyway, that'll be my snack here in a little bit. It's really high in sodium, though. I didn't buy the low sodium because my husband likes the regular ones.
So you make your own.
I know, I just haven't gotten there.
I have some downstairs.
You have some.
We could.
Next time. All right, if you're on, please say hello. We are going through thickened liquids and the IDDSI framework. I already dribbled water on it, so it's
That's why
damp.
we.
Laminated it.
That's why we laminated it.
So thin runs through the IDDSI funnel. It's 10 milliliters. So I have an alternate option posted on my Dysphagiaduo website, the blog that I do, that has some 10 milliliter syringes that are appropriate on Amazon. So if anyone is interested in the link to those blog articles that I have that have this listed, let me know because not all 10 milliliter syringes will work. Okay, so next we're gonna try slightly or mildly thick. So where should we start? Should we do a soda in the level 2? Shall we try it out? Because you talked the last time we did this discussion, you talked a lot about how the people you've seen over the years that are on thickened liquids, the one thing they miss the most is carbonation. So let's do something carbonated. So there are 3 of you on today. So we want some input.
Right now,
we have
maybe later.
Ginger ale. We have
root beer
and
sun-kissed orange
soda. So someone put flavor they want us to do in the chat and we'll do it. We also have this what are these called?
It's a frother.
It's a frother. It's a milk frother. Okay. I don't know what I ever called it before. That whiskey thingy that is super helpful. Anyway, so you can use your frother, you can use a fork, you can use
a blender.
You can use a bowl and a whisk. Totally up to you how you want to do it. Now with soda, we don't want to over mix it because the carbonation is gonna go out. So Kara says root beer. You got it, sister. All right, let's do it. So how much we need? So I'm gonna use Pure Thick. It's the, actually I had one open.
But so just out of curiosity, what is Pure Thick thickening with? Tapioca and Gorgum.
So that would be, look at this, I brought some.
Aww, you're so smart.
I use this to thicken, so you don't have to use pre-made thickeners. Mm-mm. The difference is, if you use thickeners like cassava or rice flour, you have to cook them and heat them up so they'll be the thickest they can be. This also works with wheat flour. This also works with cornstarch. Yes. Our root starches and our cereal starches all have thickening power.
And so many people would prefer to make a large batch.
True story.
Of thickened liquid.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be the way to do it. Just like making pudding or...
Yep. Or you get some xanthan gum.
Well, and that...
So Simply Thick, which we only have the packets of. So if you have the pump, is the big bottle of Simply Thick, that would be great for making a large batch.
Right. Yes, it would. And actually that will hold, well, better than any of the powders.
Right.
This powder is different. I've never made a large batch with this powder, so we may need to do that.
Yeah.
But if you want to make a large batch, if that's all you drink and want a large batch to keep in, I would recommend that you maybe use one of those flours, rice flour or cassava flour.
And you could just do thickened water.
And just cook it.
But it's going to taste a little bit like rice, and that's okay. You can flavor it. You can use cucumber. You can use strawberries. You can use watermelon. You can use lemons or limes. It's totally up to you how you want to flavor your water. So for 1 stick of this Pure Thick thickener, it's powdered, it says 1 stick for mildly thick level 2 nectar. Use 5 to 6 fluid ounces. So let's use 6 fluid ounces and add in 1 whole stick. Other side. You're welcome. I just looked at this and I can't hardly read it. So
we're getting too old.
I know.
Ounces. Okay, how many ounces? 6?
6.
Okay, notice
we have to wait for the carbonation to go down.
So one of the things that's important to remember too is that I use carbonated beverages a lot in swallowing therapy. And the reason I do that is because I had forgotten to connect the microphone. So so I use carbonated beverages a lot in my swallowing therapy because that carbonation stimulates the swallowing mechanism. Like you feel it more.
It triggers that sensitivity.
It does.
Yeah. It's like you can't.
So
for those that can drink soda, you don't want to chug it because it is overwhelming. It's an overwhelming feeling.
Now, when you thicken,
Smidgen more.
smidge more,
Yep.
like that.
Right there. Yeah, that'll be good.
So when you thicken carbonated beverages, you're going to lose a little bit of that carbonation. Just like when you pour it out, it fizzes. You're losing a little bit of the carbonation. Whereas if you drink it straight from the can, you get all of the carbonation. So,
do we want to use a whisk or a fork?
Well, my whisk's are over here.
Oh, because I'm not paying attention.
It's all right. So we will lose a little bit, but for those that are on thickened liquids and are craving something carbonated, you'll still get a little bit of that.
Yeah.
But I also think that with a speech therapist, you could trial carbonated beverages thin and see how that goes. Just like with the tomato juice or V8, it technically is a thin liquid, but it's got more
texture.
It's got more density and weight and texture. Maybe carbonated beverages would be okay for you.
Yeah.
But I'd rather you try that with someone or trial it very carefully.
Yeah.
Very carefully.
I know a speech therapist. You can book a call with her.
Yes.
Do it. I'm just saying.
And we're going to talk about diet changes later
in the future. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, hey, FYI, our lives are moving to our Facebook group starting in October. That first Wednesday in October. So be there or be square.
So join our Facebook group, which is called Dysphagia Support for Nutrition and Swallowing.
Yep.
There is a link to it on the Duo page.
I can't remember if we posted it or not.
We will post a link.
If there's not, it'll be there tonight.
So that you can join very easily. But we will only be going live through that group.
Yep. Okay.
Starting October.
You want to stir? I might need to. Oh, and it's fizzing. I might need a bigger. Oh, is that all of it? Okay. So here's the other important thing to remember about liquids. And this goes for whether you're whatever level you are. After you mix them, this says let cold liquid stand about 5 minutes before the desired consistency is arranged. Can you give what you charge for insurance or self-pay, says Kara. So we don't do insurance because a lot of the people that follow us are from out of state, and we can't operate through insurance with different states. There's a whole lot more detail than just that, but that's the easiest way to put it. So we do self-pay, and you send us a message through Facebook, or you can email us, whatever, and we will talk about that, okay?
Yes. We have options.
We have lots of options for anyone that needs specific things. And if you just need something specific, we are happy to help, okay? So send us a message, Kara. So what I'm going to try, actually, while we're going to wait for this to thicken, I made some carrot ginger puree yesterday. And do you want to try it? Tell me what you think. It's
Do you have a little spoon?
I don't have a little spoon. So I did carrots, raw ginger, vegetable broth, a little bit of orange juice. What else did I put in there? Some salt and pepper. It's on the spicy end because of the ginger.
I don't think it's spicy at all, but that is delicious.
Isn't that delightful? So this would be great as a side dish, as a sauce over some pureed chicken or fish, right? So I'm gonna run it through the funnel, and we're gonna see what texture it is, what level it is, okay? Because it's soft, and so the recipe that I pulled up, I'm terrible at following recipes, you know this, Stephanie.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to go through.
You think it's going to be a level 4, extremely thick, or pureed? So technically it's a food, so it would be pureed. So I made it expecting it to be a level 4.
Okay.
Okay. It's not gonna go through.
That's. I felt it in my mouth.
Yeah.
I knew exactly the texture.
It's got a lot of texture to it. Okay, so we already know it's a level 4 because it's not going through the funnel. Like I could stick my finger and push it through.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they don't sell the plungers for these. So
because it's for liquids.
Right. Because we're not supposed to test level 4 through the funnel for foods. So how do we test them? Do you know the answer to this? She knows the answer. I only know the answer to this because I wrote a blog article on level 4 this week. Yeah.
So you talk about it.
Okay. So we're going to take a fork and a spoon, right? And we're going to take and I will hold it over my glass because we all know that I am the messy one here and I make a mess. So anytime you have a pureed food, we do the fork test. Okay? This means, I'm going to put some on my spoon here too. So with the fork test, I can even hold it over her computer because it's not going to drip through the tines. Okay? So, and sometimes there will be a little bit underneath. That's called the tail. And we know that this is level 4 because it's not dripping through the tines. It's not liquid enough to drip through the tines. So that's level 4. Would be a really good side dish for Thanksgiving also, just FYI. If you want to do a little sweeter with a little bit of honey and cinnamon. Yeah. Okay. And then with the spoon tilt test, we would take the spoon and we would tilt it over and it would fall in one clump as opposed to dripping out. And that's how we know that it's extremely thick or level 4 pureed. So, and when you tasted it, did you notice that there's a little bit of texture in there too?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. She's busy taking care of the puppies who are causing trouble today. So, so the other thing, I made some pudding. So I wanted to show you the same things with the pudding. So, because under the National Dysphagia diet that came about in 2001, there were 4 levels of foods and then 4 levels of liquids, and they didn't cross over, right? So the liquids were called pudding thick. So I made some pudding, and you will notice that same thing happens here with the pudding. So this is white chocolate pudding made with 1% milk. I didn't make it with non-dairy milk this time because we discovered last time that non-dairy milk and traditional pudding mix doesn't work.
Very different.
So same thing here. There's a tail there. It's not falling off. It moves very slow. Like if I tilt it, I'm not worried that it's going to fall right away, right? And it falls in one lump. So if I do that same thing with the spoon. Oh, the other thing I didn't mention is that it has a mound. So it holds its shape there. And so when you do the spoon tilt test, it falls off in one little lump. So one big lump. Yes. So that's the pudding thick liquids / extremely thick or pureed. Okay. So put my dishes in the sink. So now that we have gone over level 4, let's check out how our soda is doing. And I do see a couple of lumps in there, which is slightly disappointing, but not uncommon.
Again, I think I don't know where, can you get something like this at the dollar store? Or
I don't think so. I have seen them at like
TJ
Marshalls,
Maxx.
TJ Maxx, Ross, those kinds of stores for like $10. Okay. Same with my little chopper that I use. It'll be on the same shelf.
Mm-hmm. I would say if you are on thickened liquids, it may be worth this investment.
Yeah,
$10.
absolutely.
Because there are a few chunks in there, not bad.
Right.
Not a lot, but
All right.
I just tasted it too. It's not bad.
Of course it's not bad. It's root beer.
I'm not a fan of root beer.
You're not?
No. Oops. I have it because my family likes it. We don't drink much soda though.
So, all right, let's do 10 seconds and let's see where we're at. So this is, my thumbprint.
Yeah, I
should just add your thumbprint in there so you can open my phone too. Goodness gracious.
Should.
Why do I even have a lock
You
on my phone?
absolutely should.
Okay, so ready,
go.
Set, go.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stop.
So we are level 1.
Which is exactly...
Well, technically it was supposed to be mildly thick. And we were... So if you're checking this out, it's just below the mildly thick level. It's in the slightly thick level. So
again, this is carbonated.
This is
though.
carbonated.
So carbonated may change things a little.
And so Karen had posted on our notification that we put yesterday about us going live tonight. Karen had posted, "What about coffee? I can't get mine right." And I was really hoping she would hop on here because we want to do coffee for her. So do you want to brew a cup, 12 ounces of coffee for us?
I do.
And we're going to do it even if she's not here.
Yes.
So
Janet is on. Tell her that. Did we tag her?
Hi,
Did we
Janet.
tag the right person?
Janet, did we tagged you when we started the video? Did we tag the right person? Because 2 people came up with your name. So I hoped that I picked the right one. Let us know, please. Very important. We need to make sure we got the right person. Okay, so Stephanie's gonna make some coffee. I believe she drinks hot coffee, but I'm not 100% sure. So 12, please. Okay, so I'm gonna pour our soda, and it is thick. I don't know if you can tell, but it moves a lot slower than water. It's got this nice mosaic looking sheen to it. And I really like root beer, so
good. You can drink it.
I'm gonna drink it.
Is that the thickened one?
Mm-hmm. It still has quite a bit of carbonation to it.
Does it?
It does. It's got good root beer flavor. So when I was working, I say when I was working in the nursing home, I'm still working in nursing homes, but when I was working in the nursing home with you, I would go into, and there's a reason I don't do this anymore, it's typically because I don't see as many thickened liquids now, but I would go into the room.
I can explain that.
With someone who's on thickened liquids, newly on thickened liquids, and they just refused to drink it. So I would bring whatever they preferred, juice, soda, milk, water, whatever, and I would bring a pitcher, and I would set it down, and I would sit and I would drink thickened liquids with them so that they would understand that it's okay and it's not weird and it's in their best interest, because I'm willing to do it too, and it's not gross.
So the thickener that we have today is very different than the old-fashioned thickener. So if you go to Walgreens or Walmart Pharmacy or whatever it is where you live,
And you buy the cheap stuff.
and you buy Thicket it may not be the cheap stuff because none of it is cheap,
Right.
but it's the older stuff.
I think I mean quality-wise, which is probably not a nice thing for me to say, so I apologize.
So it's the older stuff.
Yeah.
So back in the day, there weren't many options
Right.
to thicken with,
Right.
or an instant thick,
Right.
without having to cook down cassava flour or rice flour.
Right.
It has a grittiness to it, so it does change the flavor or change the texture. It may not change the flavor, but the texture. And because it changes the texture, it's not it doesn't quench someone's thirst as much. So people do not care for it.
Okay, Janet, we'll have to figure it out. We're new at this too, so we'll work on it. But
so we tagged the wrong Janet Carter, probably.
Yeah.
So if we get a different Janet Carter, we're going to say, hey.
Hi, we apologize. I hope you got something out of this that was valuable. Anyway, hey, it's fine. Thank you. Okay.
That's my dog.
So, coffee is ready. We have 12 ounces of hot coffee. So we're going to do hot coffee because I believe that she drinks hot coffee.
Okay.
I don't think she drinks cold coffee. So, and she uses Simply Thick. So this, and she wants it at level 3, moderately thick. So she uses a pump. We have packets. So we're going to do the best that we can with this. And we're going to use the frother. I don't know why that word is hard for me.
The little whiskey whisk.
The little electric / battery operated whisk. So because this calls for 4 fluid ounces of liquid, level 4 extremely thick, use 2 packets per 4 fluid ounces. We're just going to use 1 packet for 4 fluid ounces because we want level 3. So I have 4 packets. That's lucky, wasn't it? Also, disclaimer, I got these from the hospital that I work at because they were expired. So we're hoping they still work the same a couple months later. Okay.
And if we're not here next week, just kidding.
We'll be fine.
Just kidding.
All right, ready?
Yes.
We'll be here next week. We have iron guts.
Well, this is true. The dogs don't, but we do.
The dogs don't, but we do. I survived the jambalaya at the speech therapy convention last November.
I had to tell her, don't eat that.
I was so hungry. I should not have eaten it. Maybe that's my problem. I could have food poisoning from November last year.
You just really irritated your gut.
Anyway, don't eat bad jambalaya in New Orleans. Lesson learned.
Contact us if you want to know.
So, tell me your thoughts on this.
It's looking thick.
I'm going to add the other one because this is what she does. So she has the pump. She adds the correct amount per the instructions. So that's what we're going to do too. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to let this sit the appropriate amount of time. It does not say to let it sit.
I think with the gel you shouldn't have to.
Because it doesn't continue thickening?
Right, as long as it's mixed well.
Okay.
I know a lot of people will shake it.
Yes.
Shaking it is also an option.
Simply Thick does often give a little shaker bottle. The problem with hot liquids in a shaker bottle is you have to burp it because hot creates pressure. Okay. So.
What is she?
She's level 3.
And level, okay.
All right. So, easiest way for us to do this. Do we need a couple more spoons? Root beer flavored coffee is fine with me.
Well, it's not going to pour out of this.
No, it's not. And I will.
No, I don't want you to do it.
So, thank you. Appreciate you. Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
So we have hot coffee with Simply Thick. You need to dump out just a touch. Give me a thumbprint.
Okay, and then... Okay. So, I think it's the stopwatch, right? Okay. So I'm ready. Tell me when.
Set, go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, stop.
That's at level 2.
So it's even thicker.
So,
but again, we had a frother,
right?
Which mixed it. Oh, I forgot.
It mixed it well.
Stop.
That's okay.
Stop.
It can keep going.
Stop. We had a mixer that mixed very well as we poured it.
Right. Okay, Karen. So we're at a level 2. So if you're here or if you're watching the replay, we want you to comment with where yours usually ends up. Does it end up at a level 2 with hot coffee? If that's the case, maybe hot coffee needs a little bit more thickener. And if I remember correctly, based on her comment, she said, I just can't get it right.
Right.
So
my question is, do you have a funnel? Are you testing it?
I think she has a funnel because
yes,
we've talked about that.
I think we sent one to her.
I think we sent one to her, yep.
That good, huh?
It's still a little bit carbonated. I'm digging it.
Hey.
You know what? And the texture of it is nice. It's not weird or gritty or lumpy or...
But again, that's this Pura Thick. You can get it on Amazon. There's another one that is similar to it, and it's called Dysphagiaduo. And we highly support Dysphagiaduo.
They're
We just don't
amazing.
have as many. This is a
I'll have to
shake.
reach out to them.
We don't have any samples of the Dysphagia. This is one of the shakes that they make at
So
what level? Does
So
it say a level?
it should. So we have level 2 and level 3.
Okay. Dysphagia is a woman-owned company.
Yep.
And she is fantastic.
She's amazing. Okay, so I'm going to do this again.
Okay.
And we're going to see if waiting a little bit more time made any difference.
Good.
Okay?
Ready?
Right. Yep.
Go. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
It's right at the 8.
So the time.
So the time
We just needed the time with our hot coffee.
may make a huge difference. So I'm curious if we add a packet of the mildly thick on top of the 3 that we added of the
But
honey
I also
thick
think a little bit of time.
might.
Do you want to over thicken?
I think it depends on the person. Yeah.
If you want it right away, you might have to put a little bit more.
But
over time, it's going to thicken, and it may
Right.
be too thick
right,
for your muscles to manage.
right, right.
So that's that.
So this is where doing this on your own is very confusing and very frustrating because you just don't have enough information. And we've been doing this for years and playing with thickener for years. And let me tell you, the brand of thickener that they use in most nursing homes that I've worked at is terrible. Like, you would follow the instructions and it turns things to cement. So you have to use like half of what they recommend. It's just really, really frustrating. So anyway, it got a little bit thicker with a little bit more time, Karen. So it may be that you want to let it sit for a few minutes, but I want more information from you on this topic because this is complicated and not all thickeners thicken the same, and not all thickeners thicken the same for hot and cold liquids. So it's going to be really, really important for you to do the trial and error. If you don't have a funnel, go buy a 10 milliliter syringe or ask your pharmacist. So the other thing you need to know about the syringe, if you're just buying a 10 milliliter syringe, this is not a good example, and I don't think we have the old one anymore, but you want your syringe to have each number on it. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You want your syringe to have every single number on it, and you want it to have a little bit of a taper here at the bottom. You don't want it to be flat, okay? So that's what I have discovered in my years doing this, is not all syringes are the same. So you want to make sure you have the correct syringe. On the IDDSI website and on the YouTube video where they show the funnel test, they talk about the amount of space that is between the level 0 and the 10 being a specific number of, I think, millimeters or centimeters. I can't remember exactly. But it's really important that you have the correct size, because not all syringes are the same size around and not all of them are the same length. So you want to make sure you have the correct tool to do the job, or you're not going to get accurate information. And that can be harmful.
And is there a spot, a place, IDDSI, can you order IDDSI funnels specifically? I think you can, but you have to order a bunch.
So I was on the Simply Thick website today. I signed up for an account for us. They sell IDDSI funnels from Simply Thick. And I think they'll sell you like a pack of 10.
Okay.
And I want to say it's like $10 or $15 plus shipping.
Okay.
Which is not horrendous. So that's an option.
And then you have extras.
And then you have extras, because let me tell you, my dog ate mine.
He did.
So we're down to 2. So I'm leaving them here because Stephanie's dogs don't eat funnels. They eat towels.
This is true. And raccoons.
And raccoons. It wasn't a live raccoon.
I didn't just say that. Sorry. That's there.
We both jumped to the defensive. Sorry. Okay, let's drink some coffee.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, we've got some level 4.
I think it's level 3. It's
Level
right
3.
between level 2 and level 3. Yeah, that looks...
Oh, it tastes like coffee. It's not bad. It's very smooth. Cheers. That is not bad.
I almost like it because it lingers. And then I get that.
It does.
I quit drinking coffee, so this is like heaven for me.
I can't understand that.
Oh my God.
It does. It kind of coats your tongue and you get that extra coffee.
Fill my sinuses with it. It's delightful. Oh my goodness. Because when you're tasting, your sense of smell and your sense of taste work together. I appreciate that.
That is not terrible. Again, this is made with Simply Thick.
Simply Thick.
This is not bad. And again, we used a frother.
And it did expire May 23rd. So it's possible that the thickening power is not as strong. So it's possible that if you use the correct amount, it will thicken a little bit better than ours did, because mine is 3.5 months expired.
But again, if you have a funnel or a syringe that you can test yourself, I don't think it's going to hurt us, but
it's not. So typically the reason they put an expiration date on things like supplements and medications and things like this is because they start to lose their potency. It's not that they go bad. So I had a guy at a supplement company one time tell me that they set the expiration date for when there's less than 100% of the things in them that they're recommending.
But it's rarely goes below 97%.
Rarely. Yes.
Potency is what I have understood.
Yes. So an expiration date it's there for a reason, so they meet standards. But if it still thickens, granted this, like I said, and this one expired June 9th. So this one a few weeks later, but it's not going to hurt you health-wise, but it may not have the same potency. Hi, Karen. There she is. Hey,
Karen's here. We've been talking about you for an hour.
She's exaggerating. It hasn't been an hour.
It hasn't been an hour. I am exaggerating. I'm good at that.
We thickened some coffee, and we thickened hot coffee because I believe you make hot coffee. Correct me if I'm wrong. I used the correct amount for 12 ounces, which, because I have the packets, I used 3 packets because 1 packet thickens 4 ounces. And it hit our IDDSI just below the 8, which is in level 2. So tell us what your what the situation is and how it's turning out for you, because I'm curious.
Yes.
Because troubleshooting is something we want to do for all of you, because we know that you go through things and you don't know what to do next. So tell us what the situation is and how we can help you solve this issue.
We are drinking coffee thickened to level 2-ish.
2-ish.
Almost 3.
Almost 3. Yeah, I love it.
And it's tasty. Hi, Karen.
It's like coffee. We're happy you're here. Okay.
We are.
So we sort of hit every level. It's important to follow the instructions and also take these instructions with a grain of salt, because not all liquids thicken the same.
Yep.
And not all temperatures thicken the same. So,
may I add too, depending on where you live, if it is a super humid area, you may need more thickener versus a place in the middle of winter where there's no humidity.
Right.
It may take less.
Are you on the West Coast, or are you in the Midwest? Or are you on the East Coast? I was using level 2 packets or the pump, 6 pumps, still not thick.
What are you using to mix it?
Yes.
We mixed with a frother. Have you used a frother before?
If you haven't, we need to find you one. TJ Maxx, Ross, Marshalls, those kind of stores, you can typically find them on the same aisle that the kitchen stuff is in. So you're using level 2 packets and it still wasn't getting thick. So we used 3 level 3 packets and it got to, for 12 ounces, and it was hot coffee, and it got to just at between the mildly thick and the not extremely thick, moderately thick. That's the one word I can't seem to remember, is the moderately. So if it's your pump, I wonder if your pump is working correctly. What do the instructions on the pump say? Because we don't have a pump. It's in my cart on the Simply Thick website. I haven't purchased it yet.
Okay.
Same with the funnels. We're going to get some more funnels. So if you go to the Simply Thick website, you may be able to contact them to troubleshoot what's going on also. It's really important to make sure you're mixing it with the correct tool. You can put it in a blender, you can use the frother, you can use a whisk, you can use a shaker. Of course, if you're shaking hot liquid, it's really important to burp it because it builds pressure and that can be dangerous, so be careful. Yes, it does better with a frother. So you may need to mix it for more than 30 seconds with a spoon.
We let it sit.
So this does say stir briskly for 30 seconds. If you're mixing it with a spoon, switch to a fork for one, and you may need to mix it for closer to a minute or a minute and a half.
Yes.
Because that frother did way more work in 15 seconds than your spoon can do in 30 seconds. And so it probably is just not evenly distributing it, which means you're going to end up with a super thick mixture in the long term, or it's not going to distribute evenly and you're going to end up with like thick at the bottom and thin on the top.
And Karen, I think I would like to send you a packet of this Pure Thick. We have a little extra, and
yeah,
I would like to maybe send you a copy of this Pure Thick. I mean, a copy of that.
A copy of the brochure.
And a box of this Pure Thick, because they sent us this to share with you, with people. We will send this to you. I would like for you to try this one. It is powder. It is not gel, but I will tell you it is just as smooth.
Karen, go to our website and set up a call with us so we can talk you through this.
Yes.
We'll take 10 or 20 minutes and we'll talk you through some of this, okay?
I want to send this to you.
That's fine. We can do that. Absolutely, we can do that. Okay, I think that's all we have for today. We covered thin, slightly thick, mildly thick, moderately thick, and extremely thick. I feel like we did some out of the box things. We did a hot thing. We did a carbonated thing. We did my puree and the pudding, which technically is considered a liquid, not a food, because it's made with a liquid.
Well, and many people need liquids thickened to pudding consistency.
Yes. Or they need their foods pureed to this consistency. So it's white chocolate. Of course you may.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's nice.
I'm really hungry. I could eat that whole thing right now.
That would be bad. Let's not. Okay, everyone. We are so happy that you've joined us today. We would love to continue talking to you about thickened liquids if that is what you need. If you're stumped, if you're confused, if you're have a certain product and it's either working or not working, if you need recommendations for a new product, if you need
or
anything.
If you're having difficulty with liquids and you don't know why or what's going on, or I cough and this makes eating and drinking miserable for me, send us a message.
She got choked up. She got choked up. Send us a message. We want to help you. Let us help you, please.
Yes.
All right. So we're really happy you're all here. Reminder, please join the group, Dysphagia Support for Nutrition and Swallowing, if you have not already, because we're going live in the group starting the first Wednesday in October. And then I do have a request for all of you that are watching that I didn't talk to Stephanie about because I forgot. Can you please share this video with someone that might need it? Or share our page with someone who is struggling and needs extra help and support. Share our account with anyone who you know that needs help, because we are here for you and we are here for them. And lastly, if we've made an impact on your life for the better, go to Google and leave us a 5-star review, please. I'll love you forever. Only if we've actually made a difference, because we want you to be the best version of you and the healthiest version of you, and we're here to support you in that. So if we've left you any value at all, please leave us a review and share us. You approve?
Yes.
Perfect. All right.
Stephanie approved.
Love you all. We'll see you next week. We haven't picked a topic for next week yet.
No. So if anyone out there has a topic that you would like us to do next week, we are open to it, because we have not looked at the next few weeks in advance.
So we looked at October. We're starting over with talking about dysphagia in October.
Okay.
But I think we have 1 week left where or if you don't want us to talk about anything in particular and you just want us to make something.
But we'll talk about something.
Because I never stop talking. So yes.
This is true. But I'm good with it.
Thanks, Karen. Appreciate you. Or you could leave us a Facebook review also, because that's a thing that I just learned about recently. Yeah. So we would appreciate it if you would support us by spreading the word. That is what we're asking, because we want more people to get the help that they need, because there's so many people out there. Susie says pumpkin. Pumpkin what, Susie?
Pumpkin in October, maybe. Susie, I'm not a pumpkin fan, but I will do pumpkin for you.
We'll figure something out. We'll figure something out. Pumpkin white chocolate.
There's a pumpkin dessert that there's only one that I've ever liked.
Okay.
We're going to make that for you.
We'll do it. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. We're happy you're here. We're so blessed to be able to serve you.
Yes. Let us serve you. And please help us to spread the word.
Appreciate you too, my friend.
Oh. I've had such a rough week.
I know.
She's so good to me.
And you know what? We've been doing this for just over a year now. And I think that doing these lives brings us up in the middle of the week, because we love getting to serve you guys.
It does. I didn't even know if I was going to be able to be here today.
She was not happy when I walked in the door. Yeah. We made it. That's okay.
I'm here and I love all of you, and let me help you, because this is what makes my heart pump.
Yeah, she's not lying. This
I
literally,
need you.
she looks forward to this every week.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Thank
Send us
you.
messages, send us emails, comment on the video. We're happy for you. As soon as we post this, we will post, we'll tag everyone in the replay.
Yep.
And we'll tag everyone that we were going live that we were supposed to tag that maybe it didn't work. So
That.
we'll work on it.
Thanks,
Thanks, Janet. Appreciate you. All right. See you later, everybody.